Hi guys, this is Dean Swain from the Retro Asylum podcast. Congratulations to the One Up Gaming gang. 400 episodes, great number to reach. It's a lot of editing, trust me, I know. I've been podcasting for years, so well done, great number to reach. And here's to the next 400 episodes. Well done guys.
Hi, David here, One Up Gaming. Gonna have a quick go through this week's podcast. It's gonna be the One Up Gaming podcast, episode 404. So, yeah, as always, sponsored by Games Inspired Music. It's an album. It's available to buy, stream. Just search Games Inspired Music, and 20% of each sale will go to the Child's Play charity. We also have our first 100 podcasts available on like a USB cassette device type thing. Pretty cool. These are from audiobooksontape.com, and £1 of each sale will go to the Diabetes UK charity. So that is them. We also have our first 3 books available. Just go to Amazon and search the unofficial PlayStation collection, the unofficial Sega Saturn collection, and the unofficial Nintendo 64 collection. All these books are $34.99. Buy them, like them, tweet about them, put videos up about them, that type of thing. It always helps. And if you would like a discount on any of these books, email us directly at contact@oneupgaming.co.uk, where we'll be able to send you out one of these books for $24.99. So just email us and we'll be able to give a little discount for the first like 50 or so copies of these books. So message us if you are interested. So we'll go through this week's games being played. We're going to go through the 10 minutes of nothing, and that's going to be about the Nintendo Direct, and that'll do for this week's show. So I'll have a quick break now and come back with the games played this week. So back in a few seconds.
Hi, I'm Lucy James and I listen to the One Up Gaming podcast.
Hello Andy, this is Colin. I won't be able to get in tonight. I'm sweating like a pig.
So still me, still Davey, still One Up Gaming, still episode 403 of the One Up Gaming podcast. 404 of the One Up Gaming podcast. So we've been playing 7 or 8 games this week, so I'll quickly go through some of these. As always, sponsored by Games Inspired Music, and Google it, buy it, stream it, that type of thing. 20% of each sale will go to the Child's Play charity. We have our first 100 podcasts available, and that will just go to audiobooksontape.com, search One Up Gaming, and £1 of each sale will go to the Diabetes UK charity. So that is the plugs. We have our 3 books, but I think I've talked about them enough. So just search the unofficial PlayStation, the unofficial Sega Saturn, the unofficial Nintendo 64 collection on Amazon, and you'll find them. So please buy, share, like, all that good stuff. So we'll go into the games played this week on episode 404. So first of all, we had a quick go at the, is it UFL? I don't know what it stands for. Ultimate Football League? UEFA Football League? I don't know. But it's the new free-to-play football game, soccer game that's coming out soon. There was the preview available to play, just to get your teeth into to see how it went. I felt as though it played very similar and looked very similar to how the eFootball, when it first came out, when it got all the really negative press with how it controlled and how it looked. I think this game looks and feels very similar to that. So I'd like to see how it improves over the next few months. But as it is, I won't be playing it again. It just didn't feel great, it didn't look great. But yeah, UFL, again, it is just like the beta, whatever you want to call it. So yeah. So the next game, I've only got the half of the title wrote down, because the full title is like 6 lines on a box. It's just stupid. So this is Wacky Wonderful Wallop, a 3D platformer, and it goes on about how the greatest platformer in the world ever, all this sort of stuff. And it is a really bad game. It's just one of those, like, it looks like one of those like free to make games, and it's got no detail, no background, really floaty physics. It is just a terrible game. It really is a terrible game. You can see the trailer if there is a trailer. If not, I'll just put my gameplay up. But you can see it is just a terrible game. I think they've just put like loads of keywords into the title just to see if people will click on it and see how it is, because I think it'd be like a cheap nasty game. So then we're moving into more of the cubic sort of games, and we have ASMR slicing. Now this is just I had a quick go at this, and when I say quick, I mean after about 5 minutes I accidentally clicked the wrong button on and it like cut the whole screen down, because I was using the mouse because my gamepad needed charging. So I was like using the mouse, and I've got like my monitors stacked on top of each other because I've only got a narrow sort of like cupboard. So I've got 2 monitors, one on top of each other. And on the game, if you're using the mouse, you have to hit the button and then drag down to slice. As objects made out of like that sand are sort of like moving across, you have to sort of slice bits off. And unfortunately, my mouse went onto the next screen where the OBS recorder was, and I hit the button on the monitor recorder, and it just took it off and it went black. So I've just cut that down. It's just like a 5-minute video. Everyone knows what it is. It's just a really cheap, basic sort of game. It's a nice little game. It's very relaxing and simple, like a lot of these sort of games from the 20th anniversary. So yeah, ASMR slicing. So next up we have Tennis Manager 2024. Now this game I could see myself getting into if I wasn't so stupid, because it's like you have a school, a franchise sort of thing, where you have 5 or 6 people and you have to train them up, enter them into tournaments, competitions, get better training facilities, all this sort of stuff. And then when you enter them into the tournaments, you can watch the full 3D match sort of being played, and you can fast forward and skip and all that good stuff. And it was just really fun. I really enjoyed it. So I could see myself getting into it. I just don't understand tennis that much, and I'm not a big fan of tennis, but I do like these sort of games. So yeah, Tennis Manager 2024. Keep making them, keep improving them. Do what you're doing, lads. It's a really good little game. Next up we have World War 1 Isonzo Italian Front. I think that's how it is. And this is just like your classic Battlefront type game where you have a defending team and an attacking team. The defending team has to bunker down and defend their territory. The attacking team has to move from one territory over to the next to gain sort of like the point, and then you have to move along again to gain the next point, and move along again to get to the next point. And it looks good, it looked really good, played well. I'm just not a very good first person shooter game fan, and with this being a World War 1 style game, the gun that you start with is just one shot, takes 3-4 seconds to reload, one shot, 3-4 seconds to reload. And I did get onto a part of it where there was a guy who was like half on the ridge and half on the top, like going into the bunker, and I shot him 4 or 5 times and nothing happened. Then he sort of turned around and shot me once and I died. So I don't know if collision detection or whatever was just funky, but it just didn't feel like my sort of game. But if you're into first person shooters, into Battlefront style games, give it a go, see what you think. It's on the Game Pass, so yeah, no excuses. So next up we have the Callisto Protocol. Now this is just the spiritual successor to the Dead Space sort of games, made by the same sort of guys. And you can tell it's made by the same people. It plays very much similar to those sort of games. Looks amazing. The characters, the graphics are just so good. And yeah, I was really enjoying it. Very story focused, and I love that in these sort of games. So Callisto Protocol I would recommend really well. It's really fun, and it's just a shame that it didn't sell very well, because it looks as though it just didn't do very well. Same as like the Dead Space sort of games, looked amazing, played amazing, just didn't sell, which is a goddamn shame, because these are good games. And the last games that we played this week, again from the Cubic Games sort of collection, I played Pocket Mini Golf and Pocket Mini Golf 2. So the first one is, it's still full 3D, but it's more of a top-down, small, like your classic mini golf sort of game, and it played really well, looked nice. Pocket Mini Golf 2, on the other hand, it looked a lot chunkier, it looked a lot more vibrant in colour and detail, and it was a bit more zoomed in, and both games were good, both games played really well. If you like mini golf, I think these were only a couple of quid each. Then have a look at these trailers and see what you think of these games, because I for one thought that it was a fun little game. So that is the games being played this week. So we'll be back next week. Gonna have a quick break now, and we'll be back with the 10 minutes of nothing. So David here, One Up Gaming, episode 404. Please subscribe, share, like, bell, all that good stuff, and we'll be back in a couple of minutes. So goodbye.
Hi, I'm Keith Allen, and I play Murphy on Z Nation, and I listen to One Up Gaming Podcast.
Up next on the One Up Gaming Podcast is 10 minutes of nothing. Will it be the team talking about nothing or a guest interview? Stick around and find out now. It's 10 minutes of nothing. Yeah, 10 minutes of nothing.
Still David, still One Up Gaming, still episode 404 of the One Up Gaming Podcast. This is going to be the 10 minutes of nothing. So if you don't know what the 10 minutes of nothing is, it is just me rattling on about some sort of topic for 10 minutes. We have a timer, and if the timer ends, then that's as far as we go. So it is just trying to talk to the 10-minute timer. It was designed so we don't rattle on for 2 hours, which we used to do. And this week we're going to talk about the Nintendo Direct, the June 2024. Talk about all the games announced and all the bits and bobs and how I feel about some of these games. So the 10-minute timer will start. And when I say will start, I mean the timer will start now. So first up we have Luigi. No, we don't. We have Mario and Luigi Brothership. So this is like the Mario and Luigi RPG style sort of games. I'll be honest, I've never played any of them before, and this didn't catch my fancy. It looks like a basic, like the 2D, 3D style Super Mario. I don't know, it just looked a bit ropey, to be honest. Next up we had the Nintendo World Championships NES Edition. Now this one looked quite cool, how it had all like little world records and little bits and bobs to do. It seemed a fun little game, but again I don't think they can charge $50-60 for this. I just don't feel it's that sort of game. Then next up we have Koei Tecmo and their Fairy Tail 2. Now this one looked quite cool, but again it was very anime. I'm not a massive anime sort of fan. Yeah, I don't know. It's coming this winter, so we'll be able to see how it goes. Then the next up we have from Final Fantasy creators. Oh god, I'm not even going to attempt to say the names. But Fantasia Neo Dimension. Now this game looked quite nice, but again, I'm just not a role-playing game fan, so it just didn't appeal to me. So already we're off to a good start. 4 games in and 4 games I wouldn't want to play. Let's make it 5. Nintendo Switch Sports announced they've got a new game, basketball, and I just don't think that looks good. Next up we have all that was really shown was a trailer, and it's coming in 2025, and that's Mio Memories in Orbit. From the little picture I've got there, it looks like one of those like Limbo-esque really good 2D platformers, but I might be wrong. Disney Illusion Island is getting more DLC added to it. Again, it's like a really nice looking hand-drawn 2D platformer game. It's quite cool. I have played that one, but with all the new bits and bobs, I won't be going back to it. Hello Kitty Island Adventure. So is this just like a Animal Crossing style game? But I do know that it's coming to Switch first as a timed exclusive, and then it'll be PlayStation and Xbox. But yeah, I just don't get... I'm not a big fan of Animal Crossing either, so that's another game that I won't be playing. Looney Tunes Wacky World of Sports. It just looked like a bad sort of hand-drawn animation style game with like basketball, soccer, all that sort of stuff. So it could be fun, but it just didn't look great. The next up, they had Among Us. Now I can't even remember this on the thing. It's just getting a free update on Tuesday. New crewmate and imposter roles at the I don't care. I don't care. I don't have friends. I don't play Among Us. Then we have Farmagia. Looks like another role-playing game. Again, I couldn't tell you what game this was. It's got like, it looks like the Monster World sort of like little onion things in it. I don't know. But again, I'm not a big fan of these. Donkey Kong Country Returns in HD. Again, I'd have a guess it'd look fine as it was. I don't know why they have to do all these remakes, to be honest. Coming to the Switch January 16th, I guess next year. Dragon Quest 3 HD 2D remake. I love the HD 2D. Because it's just like the characters are all 2D. And the backgrounds are all like a lovely 3D sort of thing. And I love this sort of art style. There was a game that I played on the Xbox recently and it was amazing. So I guess these games could be fun. And they're also doing the Dragon Quest 1 and 2 in HD 2D as well. And that's coming 2025. The HD 3, the Dragon Quest 3 HD 2D will come 14th of November this year. Then we have Funko Fusion, which is just those Funko Pops which I hate with a passion. And it's just like a simple 3D shooter, sort of like game, platformy. And it's just got like hundreds of little characters. It's like Xena, The Thing, Invincible, Battlestar Galactica, Knight Rider, Jurassic World, Scott Pilgrim. I can't really see anything else. Shaun of the Dead, is that? Or is that David? I can't remember. I can't see. The Mummy. I can't see. I can't see. Chucky? Hot Fuzz? Yeah. Then we have another HD remake, Luigi's Mansion 2. Now that was quite a fun little game back in the day. But is it worth a HD remake? Then we have the new Denpa Men, which I have no idea the hell that is. A weird version of Animal Crossing with mini games. Again, Animal Crossing, not my game. Metal Slug Attack Reloaded looked quite fun. Looks nice. I like the artwork. So it's coming into Switch on Tuesday, so it should be out now. Darkest Dungeon 2. I liked Darkest Dungeon, but I didn't like it enough to go out and buy it. I just played it on the Xbox Game Pass. And then it says a big Nintendo Switch online update. Is it a big update when there's like 4 games announced? Like Zelda, Metroid Zero, Oh, there. The Legend of Zelda: Link to the Past 4 Swords, Metroid Zero Mission, Turok Dinosaur Hunter, and Perfect Dark. Is that really a massive update? A big update? I don't think it is. Phantom Brave: The Lost Hero. Again, another really cutesy looking 3D RPG, JRPG, just not my sort of thing. A game that piqued my interest was Marvel vs. Capcom Fighting Collection Arcade Classics. So this one had 7 whole games coming is one collection. Loads of Marvel vs. Capcom fighting games, and then the Punisher, the 2D side-scrolling fighter. All look good, great little games. Super Mario Party Jamboree. Now, I've never been a big Mario Party fan, I've just felt they were rubbish little games. The Legend of Zelda Echoes of Wisdom. Again, this one looks like the really bad top-down Zelda 3D game that came out a year or two ago. I guess they're using the same engine, but this time you play as Zelda itself, and not Link. But I guess you play as Link later on, or at the beginning, one of the two. They also announced the Switch Lite Hyrule Edition, which I think looks bad. It's just like gold with the little symbol at the back. Then they had a Just Dance 2025 edition. I couldn't tell you if it was 2020 or 2025. They all look exactly the same to me. A weird one, Lego Horizon Adventures. Lego Horizon Adventures coming this holiday season. It is funny how Sony letting their Horizon game out on the Switch, but it's not coming out on the Xbox. Bit petty, I think. I think it should have come out on all of them. Stray was a nice little story-driven platform game where you're a stray cat. In the future, it played really well, I thought, on the PlayStation 5. I think I played it. Obviously, the Xbox, can't remember. But yeah, that's coming out, so I'd like to see how that looks. Tales of the Shire, a Lord of the Rings game. It looked pretty ropey, to be honest. I've only got a minute left, so I better crackle through. Ace Attorney Investigations Collection. I can't even remember that one being shown. The 100-line Last Defense Academy. Again, I can't remember that one being shown. Romancing Saga 2, Revenge of the Seven. Again, another one. I guess it's an JRPG, can't remember it. Metroid Prime 4 Beyond. Now this one, it looks like the Metroid Prime sort of games. It was first announced in 2017, but it's been a long road. They've cancelled it, they've remade it several times. Looks like it's coming out in 2025. And it was being restarted under Retro Studios in 2019, who did the other Metroid Prime games. So hopefully it will be a good little game when that comes out. The graphics didn't look massively improved from the older sort of games. But yeah, that is all the stuff shown in this year's Nintendo Direct, the June 2024 sort of one. So it would have been like the E3 sort of one. So what did you guys think? Please comment, subscribe, all that good stuff. Let us communicate, let us chat. And that, my friends, is the 10 minutes of nothing. So thank you all for watching. It's been me, David, One Up Gaming, episode 404. As I said, please subscribe, bell icon, all that good stuff. And we'll be back next week with more shows. And we'll be back with just the goodbyes. So back in a couple of seconds.
Hello, this is Peter Poppleton from the internet. I would just like to congratulate you really on reaching the 400th episode of the podcast. What the fucking hell's a podcast? If anybody tries to cast my pods like in Plaster of Paris or something like that, I will smack them right in the tit. It's what? It's like a radio. Right, I get it now. I see. It's like a radio show. 400 episodes on chuffing gaming. Chuffing hell. Look, I don't know how you've got there. Quite what you can say about chuffing Space Invaders, Pac-Man and Horace Goes Skiing, I will never know. But either way, it sounds like quite an achievement. So well done. And here's to the next 4. Let's not get, ahead of ourselves. I'm not going to say the next 400 because let's face it, gaming is, well, I don't know what I'm talking about, do I? I'm very old. Happy 400th episode.
So yeah, thank you all for watching. It's been me, David, One Up Gaming. Please go to our website, which is oneupgaming.co.uk. We have an Etsy store, which I'll try and get a couple of things back up and running. I've set the store to holiday mode. I've not been well for the last few... it's over a month now I've not been well. I still don't feel great. It's gone from just a wheezy little cough to full-blown cold flu sort of style symptoms where I'm aching, headache, all that kind of stuff. And it's been over a month. It's just not feeling great. But yeah, so hopefully Etsy, I'll get some bits and bobs up. Subscribe to the podcast, so if you're listening to it, just give 5 stars, all that good stuff. If you're watching us on YouTube, subscribe, like and share, and bell the icon. Really helps with the algorithm. It'd also help if you all leave comments. Let us chat, let us talk. Really fun to interact. Games Inspired Music is available now. 20% of each sale go to the Child's Play charity. We have our first 100 podcasts at audiobooksontape.com. Search One Up Gaming. £1 of each sale will go to the go to the Diabetes UK charity. Don't know what I'm talking about. And lastly, we have our first 3 books available from Amazon. They are the unofficial Sega Saturn collection, the unofficial PlayStation collection, and the unofficial Nintendo 64 collection. All 3 are available. Search for them, buy them. If you would like a £10 discount, email us directly at contact@oneupgaming.co.uk, where we can try and get you a copy for $24.99. Just email us, let us know what you want. We have 50 copies for a discounted price. So thank you all for watching, thank you all for listening. It's been me, David, One Up Gaming, episode 404 of the One Up Gaming podcast. Thank you. Goodbye.